exception, Blacklisted podcast.
It goes like this. The mind doesn't tell me what to do. I tell the mind what to do. And I truly believe that because it's a very good thing. And I believe in it, and I do it I try to do it every day, because a lot of times if you want to be great at something, you have to tell your mind shut the fuck up and just do it. Basically. That's the best I can put it.
So that's the quote.
That's the quote.
Shut the fuck up and just do it.
Yeah, basically. That's the quote, Fuck it.
Probably ripped off Jocko somehow. If not, new quote.
New quote. The whole fucking album that he just dropped.
Yeah. So podcast today, we're going to kind of talk about the adversity mindset. We've got a perfect guy right here that can explain some of his story and kind of, what?
He said half a guy. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry. It's gonna be like that.
Anyway, so Jan's gonna talk about a few things. I'm gonna kind of let him tell us his story, but he is a phenomenal swimmer that doesn't quite have legs that work super well. But I mean, he would smoke me in the water. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, kind of Jan, explain kind of your story and just some important, like, let's start from like one of your first like big memories of kind of how it shaped your mindset on how like to overcome a lot of the things that you had to in the past.
Yeah, thanks, Griff. Yeah, for sure. So obviously, a lot of you guys don't know me, but I actually came from Russia. I was in an orphanage till 9 years old, basically, and I had no education. I had zero resources, and from there, I was already so behind other kids. And I have great parents, and they adopted me from Russia, and we literally had to start from ground zero to now, and it's really amazing. I had to learn how to read and write. I had to learn the language
At 9?
at 9 years old.
Oh shit.
At 9 years old. On top of that, with my disability, and that made it a lot harder, because with my disability, with CP, you have other issues as well, not just the walking.
What's CP?
So
posing.
yeah. Show him.
Yeah.
Show him what you got.
So I use my legs every day, and they kind of work. If I can get them.
Get him up there, man. Come on.
If I can get them up.
Overcoming adversity.
Hell yeah. These are the legs that I use every day.
They're the magic swimming legs you got.
Exactly.
Proud of you.
I use them when I kick too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So they know cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
I think you should talk about how severe it used to be.
Oh, it was so severe that I couldn't walk until.
Weren't you in a walker or not a walker? Yeah, you had one of those walkers that you had to drag behind.
Exactly.
You, right?
So yeah, I had that. But before that, I didn't walk. I would crawl on the ground.
That would
like
be terrifying.
Like a monkey, just crawling on the
with your legs dragging behind, just like swiveling.
Yeah, basically,
like a deer.
That's the best way I can put it.
It's actually really fucked up. I didn't know it was that bad.
That was pretty bad. So from that, I really couldn't walk. So because I didn't really know I could walk, really. So once I got adopted and all that, I started to walk a little bit. I would fall like constantly. So then walked a little bit. I had therapy, many years, physical therapy.
What did they have to do to get you to walk?
So basically, I had to do 2 surgeries. One was pretty major. They basically had to cut every muscle they could, I guess, to help me walk.
Didn't they have to cut your Achilles to get your feet on the ground?
I think so.
You were
crazy.
You were walking on your toes, right?
I was walking on my toes. Yeah.
You weren't able to put your feet on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing. It was that tight.
So everyone bitching about bad, tight calves, yo, like get your shit together.
Yeah. So that's for sure. I mean, I had to do 2 surgeries. The first one was major. They had to cut a lot of things. The second one wasn't as major. It didn't really help, but I did it. Obviously, thank God I never had to do 3 surgeries, because that would have been a wow, So obviously with that obstacles, I had to overcome a lot of shit. With not just the walking, but everything else.
Just had to overcome walking.
Everything else. And, I'm just blessed to be still alive, from where I came from, Russia.
That's true. It was your 0 to 9 years was pretty fucked up from what you told me.
Yeah, for sure. And
if you feel comfortable to ever hit on that this morning, feel free. I feel it is important for people to know.
Yeah.
So they grasp like just how much stuff you had to come over and why you are, quite honestly, one of the single most positive people I've ever had the opportunity and privilege to meet in my life. So if you wanted to touch on that, cool.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable with it,
I will, for sure.
But you don't have to do it right now, unless you don't want to. Unless you want to.
Yeah. So with that, so from there, as I said, with my disability, had to overcome a lot of obstacles with that. But think about it. As I said, I'm so thankful to be still alive because I believe there was two options. If I stayed in Russia, I would have been either on drugs, abusive to other kids, because that's the environment that I kind of came from also, because in Russia, the government does not care. Russia's a very, very corrupt country, as everybody knows. But,
well, people only know what they hear from media. So, we can be told a lot of things. So, like, coming from someone that was there, it's a little bit more personal because everyone's perspective is also going to be different. Like, I'm sure parts of Russia are not that bad.
Of course, yeah.
Right? But just like the U.S., there's bad parts. But people don't know that much about Russia. They just know Russia bad. No, I mean,
Well, I watched Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Fair. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Bunch of drugs, It's true, though. I mean, watch Rocky 4, you'll see. The environment I came from, I was in an orphanage, and the government in Russia doesn't really fund the orphanages the way they should be. Unlike America, in America you have so many opportunities. I think, unlike Russia, if you were born poor, it's hard for you to achieve things.
Wasn't there a time where you were like left to die when you were real little? Like you just were abandoned essentially by your caretakers?
So about going to that route actually. I guess you want to go there.
You don't have to. I just feel your story is genuinely remarkable.
It is.
People put it. A lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people in the U.S. think that they're like, oh man, like I've had it tough. No, most people here, like you said, the opportunity that's in the U.S. You can be born poor and become one of the richest people.
Of course, I mean,
you can take
just
advantage.
Look at all the, one good example is Ben Carson. He became a successful surgeon, a brain surgeon. But think about him. He didn't have, when he was growing up, I mean, he was poor as it can be. But he worked his ass off and he became a very successful person. And there's other people out there too. But yeah, I mean, it's just, in Russia, it was just a lot of things going on. And I think my biological parents, my biological mom, she did the best she could. But you also have to understand, she was also in an orphanage, so she didn't know any better.
No shit, I did not know that.
She was in an orphanage herself.
Oh wow.
So she never had the education, the experience that most people have. And so, I think, like looking back, I think she did the best she could, and she just gave me up for the orphanage. And yeah, you can say, oh, it's bad, it's terrible, but in reality, she kind of, in a way, also saved my life, even though. And I hate to admit that, for many years I hated my mom.
That's honestly like a great mother.
Yeah.
To be that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, my biological mom,
You still talk to her?
No, I don't. I've met my biological sister.
Mm-hmm.
Very successful, very smart. She's in college right now. I think she's doing mechanics something or some engineering. So she's very intelligent. And she had many obstacles to overcome too. She couldn't speak when she was younger, so she had difficult life too, but she overcame a lot of things. But and for many years it was like hard to forgive my mom because I didn't understand like why did she give me up for why did she give me away. But looking back, maybe it was a good thing because
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
honestly.
maybe it was a good thing. It's hard to admit that, and it's hard. Oh wow, but in reality, as I said, there's two options. Either she didn't give me away, and who knows what's gonna happen to me. And I mean, the orphanages in Russia are awful, but it's better than living on the streets. And but going back to what I was saying, I had two options. If I stayed in Russia, I would be on drugs, abusive to other kids, because in the bigger orphanages, they're very abusive, straight up abusive.
Really?
Yeah, very abusive in the Russian orphanages when you get older, and they send you to the big orphanages, adult orphanages, because those kids don't know any better either.
Yana talked a little bit about something kind of similar on our episode with Kyle last year, I believe.
Yeah. So
that was in Bulgaria.
Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty similar.
I mean, orphanages anywhere probably aren't super great.
True.
But I'm just, but thank God, I have great parents here. My adopted parents, my mom, very big supporter of me. My dad, I mean, they support me so much that I can't, that just thanking them is not enough because they've done so much for me. They've not only were great parents to me, but they gave me an opportunity to swim. They gave me an opportunity to succeed in life, and I just got to take it for it,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very impressive is that, I think that everybody has a purpose in life, and sometimes to get to your purpose or your dreams, you just have to overcome a lot of shit. And I still have to overcome a lot of shit. I still get to my head, oh, poor me, but at the end of the day, that's life.
You've done a much better job though when you enter that state. I mean that I'm never gonna fucking forget that swim meet.
Yeah.
When you broke down entirely, like that was like watching a puppy die. That was basically the saddest moment of my life currently.
So it was definitely because I didn't make trials. And
well, yeah, but I mean, like, I guess what I'm saying is like I've seen you at I won't say your lowest, but like in the years I've met you during that time, or I've known you during that time, that was your lowest, and that destroyed me. Like obviously,
well, it destroyed me too, and I tried to hold my tears back, but I quit. Right? I looked at the clock and I was like, the cut was 100 back, 135.93, and I think I was around.
You weren't too far off, like 137.
137, and maybe I had too high an expectation in that time, but
during that year, you definitely did.
So everyone understands what's going on. So you want to talk about what you like, what swim event you were doing, what it meant to qualify, just to so people know what's going on.
For sure, yeah. I'll be more specific with this. So,
but they need to know you're in swimming. So start.
Didn't we say he swam with his feet or his legs?
Oh yeah, I guess.
yeah, we did. So
talk about your journey from that low to where you are now, just real quick.
With that, I mean, just from that, obviously in 2021, didn't quite make the trials that I wanted to.
Which trials?
Paralympic trials.
For what sport?
For swimming. For Paris swimming. Because I felt like 2021, man, if I make Paralympic trials, it will be such a good thing, especially with the COVID situation and all that. People bitching about, the world's gonna end, and I kind of wanted to show, no, it's not. It's a good thing. But obviously, it didn't happen, which is okay. I think it made me a stronger person. It made me more hungry in the water, outside the water as well. But yeah, that's 3 years ago. But now, through those 3 years, I definitely had to go ups and downs. Just finding myself as a person, finding myself as a swimmer, because like at the end of the day, I love the sport of swimming, but it's hard, swimming. Unlike other sports like American football, European football, all those sports, NBA, you don't make money from swimming. So at the end of the day, you're like, why do you want to do swimming? Because it's not for the money, it's not for the fame, it's because I love it. And it's swimming has been my life. It's like I would say swimming has escaped my reality, which is a good thing in many ways. Because I mean, in the water, people say I'm free, and I think it's true when you're a para athlete. Because obviously, as everybody knows, I have a disability, and for me, walking, yes, being a cripple.
Okay,
I land.
We all know you're faking it, Jan.
Yeah, we all know. So, but definitely makes it harder. But I think swimming just made me a stronger person mentally, physically, and I don't want to say spiritually because it sounds a little bit weird, but it can.
If it does, then it does,
man. There's no judgment here, and if people judge you on that or listen to it, I mean that's their fucking problem.
Yeah,
being honest.
I mean it's just like, and I just love the sport. And the reason I know I love it because I've quit so many times, I come back to it.
I'm so happy you said that because that is very true for you.
Yeah,
and I also think that's very true for
a lot of people.
Every like elite level athlete, because you're now. Since that time when you were trying to get the Paralympic trial cut, you got a letter last year.
Correct.
Asking to be a part of what?
I got a letter last year of being part of the Para Pan Am or something like that.
What did the Paralympic U.S. national team?
It was for the games they hold every 4 years. It's like before the Olympics, so it's like it's the qualification for the Paralympic Games or whatever.
But you were asked to be a part of Team U.S. at the Paralympic
yeah.
Pan Games.
I was potentially going to be. So that letter just said you're not part of it yet, but you definitely are considered to be potentially a Paralympic athlete for the United States if you meet these requirements and you qualify for this meet. You go represent the country in Santiago. It was in Chile. Sadly, I didn't go. I didn't quite make it.
There were circumstances that did not allow you to be able to go. You would have made it, and I know you know that.
Yeah, I would have made it if I went a little bit faster. Like
no, I don't mean that, Jan. What I mean is like getting and meeting the standards of being able to go. There were things out of your control that did not allow you to properly prepare.
Basically, yeah.
And we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah. I know the details. You know the details, but we don't need to shit talk.
Basically, yeah. I think that could I've done better for myself as training myself? Yeah, absolutely. And I had the support system. Actually, believe it or not, shout out to Joby. Shout out to Joby's mom, Diane. She stepped up the game, and she was a phenomenal person. And she helped me with conditioning. I can tell you that, for example, my best time is a 33 short course.
Yards or meters?
Yards.
What event?
50 free. 50 yard free. I don't usually go a 34 at the beginning of the season. I went a 34 off the blocks, feeling crap, which was phenomenal. And I could see the work that I was doing with her.
Diane's pretty great.
Yeah, she's really fantastic, and Joby's very fantastic. I'm blessed to have them in my corner, and I'm blessed to have you in the corner, Dan. You've made me a better swimmer. Sadly, it was sad to see you go.
I'm still around.
You're still around. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I know you are. But
you're a ghost, Dan.
That's right.
And for people that know Dan, let me tell you guys, and people that don't know him, like, he's a phenomenal guy, coach. I mean, phenomenal mentor. I think one of the reasons I still love the sport of swimming, I would argue, is having Dan in my corner and having people like Diane and Joby. And obviously, the coach I have now, I mean, he's a good coach. It's just
other people to look up to also.
Yeah, Griff. Yeah,
I don't do shit.
This dude saved photos of you.
I don't do shit, but lift weights and move fast.
You encourage me. A lot of
that's inspiring to people who can't squat.
Exactly. I can't. I mean, I got to squat, guys. Actually,
it is true. You were doing med ball squats, and whatnot for dryland, and you were almost doing lunges at one point.
I might have gone close. But
so there's honestly one thing, Jan, I want to talk about just briefly with you, or even a little bit, because I think this will paint a really clear picture. When I first met you, I had to quite literally pick you up and put you on the block because you
didn't have the balance.
You didn't have the balance, and I don't know if it was like a fear thing as well, because there were a couple times where you fell.
Well, idiot. Yeah, there were a couple times in practice where I actually fell backwards. Thank God I never.
It was
injured.
Hilarious.
It was kind of funny. But
it wasn't that funny. It was fucking terrifying.
It was for you guys.
No, like we were. No, it wasn't terrifying for us. It's more like, holy shit! Like you could get really fucking hurt.
Yeah, so I think that's, and it wasn't trauma shit, but it was like, oh, I have to be careful. But also think about 3 years ago, I didn't have the balance I have now.
So you can get on the block by yourself without any issues whatsoever. I mean, you struggle to get your leg on the table.
Yeah.
But you struggle a lot less now.
Oh, hell yeah.
To get on the block, so I'm using that as like a metaphor kind of deal to people don't understand like how to get up on and off of a starting block in swimming.
Of course not, yeah.
But it is a horrifying thing, especially when you're little, but also if you don't have balance because
you can fall back, you know.
So like it's having an extensive fear of heights is what we can compare it essentially possibly to people.
Yeah.
You having to overcome that, and like you took the time and the effort to try to get on the block yourself.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it had ever annoyed you or pissed you off that I had to pick you up or you had to have help getting up on the block.
It was easy. No.
But like you could see the determination. Like I don't want to be helped anymore.
Of course.
So like, and it fits the bill with you, and that's something that people, as you said that one day at some practice at dryland, like screaming at the kids for being lazy, for able-bodied people.
There were truly,
huh?
There were, and I was pissed because I'm like, your parents pay for this. You know, your parents are paying the money.
Well, we can talk about that. We'll lead into that here in a second. But people don't realize how much that simple task is extremely adverse for you.
Of course.
And I think I've hit my point on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. Because, I mean, with my disability, the biggest issue I have is balance and coordination. Like, that's number one and number two besides, you know, other things to have to worry about. But that's basically how I can describe my disabilities. I have terrible balance and terrible coordination. Now, my balance has tremendously improved within, like, 4 years, I would truly say. Because, you know, now I actually have power going off the blocks. Now
you can actually jump.
Yeah, and now my legs don't quite work. So, to give you... I know, it sounds, it's true.
It sounded like you just got out of Forrest Gump.
Like it did. Like, if you think about it.
I just felt like running.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. I love that movie too.
Holy shit.
But it's kind of crazy because think about able body, when they jump, they use their legs. And their legs moving when they jump, right? My legs kind of stay there, and I have to use my whole upper body to push myself forward. So, and obviously, I still have that issue. You know, my legs I can't quite use my legs on the blocks the way it should be done, but to me, that's normal. Like, I actually thought the way I was jumping off the blocks is normal compared to others, but I guess not.
It's okay. We can put a little video clip to show everyone your start.
Basically,
it's honestly...
We actually should edit that in.
Yeah, I sent it to...
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Surprised there's a mic in your face?
I was hoping to go to my mouth.
Oh, my God.
So, Griff, what I feel like you might be able to run with the shit he just said a little better than me, because I'll start getting too personal and whatnot and make it less relatable to the people listening.
Well, so like one of my questions is like, what do you feel like the biggest thing for you, like a specific story detail in your life, is what helped you? Like, this was either the starting point or the main focus point that really made you go, you know what, like I'm gonna be this guy, like I'm gonna be tough. I like, fuck woe is me. I can be what I want to be, no matter how hard I decide I want to work. Nobody's gonna decide that for me but myself.
Oh, I mean, to be honest, it's a simple question, but very tough. I think there's a lot of components into that.
Of course, there's a bunch. Yeah, there's a bunch, but there's all like in most people, there's kind of something at least maybe that jumps out to you that like, you know, this was it.
I would say that, and it's kind of interesting answer I'm going to give you, but I think the moment I met moment I met the first Paralympic athlete,
the Evan,
Paralympic athlete, Lance Lembeck.
Oh,
he's in my category S7 because in swimming there's categories 1 through 14, and I'm like the middle.
You said 7. Lance Lembeck.
Lance Lembeck. He's a backstroker.
Yeah.
Former gold medalist in the 50 I want to say also silver medalist or bronze medalist on 100 back. The first moment I met him, that same day, I'm like, I want to become a Paralympic athlete. And so I kind of said, okay.
How long ago was that?
It was like when I was 11 years old. So.
Oh, wow. And you're 21. You're 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'll be 21 in April. But yeah, I think that was the first moment. But truly my like when I actually woke up and said, whoa, I really have to step to the game and I have to work my ass off, was actually, I would say, either the year before trials or a little bit after. I said, nothing can stop me. I have to do regardless. If it's gonna hurt, let it hurt. If it's gonna kill me, let it kill me. Basically, because at the end of the day, and I think what drives me the most and what motivates me the most also is because I listen to a lot of motion people. I like David Goggins, Joko. I like all those guys. One of my favorite guys I listen to now, Andy Elliott. He's a sales guy, phenomenal guy. Andy Elliott. Yeah, he's phenomenal. But I would say I think what really said I want to do this, and I want to keep doing it, is just meeting Paralympic athletes on top of meeting like national athletes, right? Infinity, you're a guy.
Who's that?
The American breaststroker. Used to be the world record. Used to be American record.
He still is the American record holder. He will always be the American record holder until an American breaks his record.
Yeah.
But he's the American and NCAA record holder in the 100 breaststroke until Leon Marchand goes to 48 this year.
Of course, yeah. Which is possible.
It's all right. Continue on with it.
But yeah, I think I think, to be honest, there's just It's just that. It's that simple.
So around when you were 11, you could not speak English, correct?
When I was like 10, 10 and a half. So
Jesus, man. I didn't know that.
Because I got adopted at age 9, so it probably took me a whole year or even more.
So how did you communicate? Just real quick, I just need to know this. How did you communicate with people from 0, or obviously 0, like 6 to 9 years old?
Well, in Russian, but the Russian I knew was very simple too.
Okay.
So I knew Russian, but I didn't know a lot of things. You know, to tell you, for example, my Russian, the amount of Russian I knew was probably equivalent to a 4-year-old. And I was
at 9 years old.
Yeah, I would say that.
Shit,
I didn't.
Jan.
If you ask my parents, they'll say the same thing because I didn't understand. That's what made school very hard because I didn't even know my own language completely or the grammar because I didn't know how to read and write. And the speaking was babyish because I had zero education in Russia. That's the crazy part is the Russian government does not give a fuck about disabled people. It's true. And actually, believe it or not, in 19-something, when they had the Olympic or when they were going to have the Paralympic Games in Russia, the Russian government said, no, we don't have any disabled people. So they denied it. So did China. China and Russia are very similar. I've heard people from China say the same thing. Like we
don't need to go down that route. I was just genuinely curious. Keep going with.
It's a perfect example of why the Spartans are idiots.
Yeah.
Maybe, probably,
As much as everyone's like, damn, the Spartans were badass. Yeah, but they they killed babies that were slightly deformed.
They were.
You know what? I mean, so they made them all tough. I don't believe the full story because could have had guys like this.
Yeah.
Rather had a guy like this with a spear than some of the pussy ass motherfuckers
Honestly,
that we had to marry.
Honestly, let me say who is the oh shit, who is the deformed one that like?
Well, that was like fantasized and not actually.
Of course it was, but it's a good point.
No,
that was Jan on that fucking trail.
No, it wasn't. You just said this man took down Sparta and betrayed everyone.
No. They just walk the same.
Hate you.
Yeah, I walk like a penguin, guys.
I'm gonna get ripped apart on this podcast.
100%.
Please do. Just kidding.
For those of you who don't know, Jan and I are very close, and we talk like this all the time to each other. We used to have a thing where
that's why I love it.
Whenever a new lifeguard would get hired at Mountain View Aquatic Center down the road from here, I would trip Jan in front of the new lifeguard, and he'd make a huge scene. And he would throw his cane and be like, ah! And then the new lifeguard would be like, oh my God, flip the fuck out. And Jan would just start laughing.
Yeah, man, I loved it, man. And I love this kind of people, because I hate this. Truly, I hate this environment when it like this culture and this. I guess the world. I don't want to say America. It's a little bit not right, but I think the whole world. Like people look at disability like, oh, poor them. No, like fuck, like I'm the same person, like Dan, like Riff, like everybody else. Like, what's different between me? And that's why I try to tell people, like,
your legs don't work.
Yeah, that's it.
What's different between you and other people is that you're a bad motherfucker.
Honestly,
and you decided to be a great human being and someone that is tough and driven and won't be stopped. There is a difference between you and other people. Yeah. You're not a bitch.
Yeah. We need to get Stella to get him a bracelet.
I have a bracelet, actually.
I gave you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Where the fuck is it?
I didn't bring it.
So, like, if people feel bad for you, like, they should feel bad for the fucking
And it's crazy. Like, for example,
challenge him to a fight.
Kind of
you said, oh my God. No, I'm serious. This motherfucker hits really hard. So.
He doesn't use arms in the fucking pool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like, basically, my swimming is all pool, which creates a lot of issues.
He's tired after that one swim meet.
So, okay. Well,
no, we don't need to tell the story. I'm being rhetorical.
But
just the fact that he said my legs were tired, and I said you used them. Without saying anything else.
Yep.
Right. So I just wanted everyone to know the relationship you and I have before they rip me apart entirely. Because I think I need to reel it in and get us back on track to what you were just saying with like the thing that sets you apart and like the shit that. Have you fully answered the question that Griffin asked? Has he fully answered your question yet? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know. I'm kind of going off and on, but
dude, you're fine.
You're
just disabled.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. See what? Yeah.
Once they realize you're faking it, then everything's still going to be fine.
Who knows? Maybe I'll make the national team.
But the biggest thing that Griffin said, like, you're not a bitch. Like that's genuinely like the biggest purpose of having you on the show with us today is because people need to know
he's an exception.
Yeah. Huh?
He's an exception.
Yes, and that's our thing. Like. Be the exception. Blacklisted. Be the exception. Like that. That's us. That is our slogan.
It's our mantra. It's
Mantra,
like what
yeah.
we
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Like, be the exception.
I mean, it's not even me. I would want to say. I mean, it's my parents. It's the coach that I had. Right?
So I'm going to stop you. I don't disagree with you. However, you choose to put the effort in.
yeah,
Like, yes, you have all these people surrounding you. You got lucky. You definitely got lucky by getting adopted by Alex.
hell yeah.
But like from the standpoint of like
And
the people
Sarah.
you, sorry, Sarah, and the people that you surround yourself with, they meet the mold that you need. Like even, did you have Coach Jackie? Did you have Jackie with gold? I don't remember.
No, I had Coach. I want to say I had Coach Wally and Coach Andy a little bit, but
I don't think I ever met them.
they left them. They
oh
left,
yeah, Andy's at Swim Atlanta now,
Oh, he is.
right? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, he moved to Boston.
Oh no,
I
I'm
believe.
thinking of Ryan. Sorry. Anyway,
Yeah.
You are an extreme exception, and you are the ideal mold of what really people need to be, not just in sport, but in life. Like you're a go-getter, you're extremely positive. It's like just one of those people that you are a leader, and you're one of the best leaders I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to get on my knees for you. Like I'm being quite genuine by saying that.
Yeah.
You're one of the most extraordinary individuals I've ever met in my life. And I think that whenever we are able to get back into the pool, you and Griffin should race.
Yeah, man. And
Why? This man will smoke me.
I strongly disagree because you can manatee body position kick now.
What?
Yeah.
Tristan will put the video up.
This man is a Paralympic fucking swimmer.
Yeah, but you have
trying to become a
here's the
Paralympic
thing, you
athlete.
have to beat him, otherwise then you're being sympathetic to somebody whose legs don't work, which makes you look like an asshole.
I'm not being sympathetic. I'm just acknowledging that this man's a great swimmer, and I'm going to get my ass beat no matter if I had fins and turbojets on.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I'm trying to become that level. I'm not quite there. I got a lot of work to do that for that end because...
So what are you doing now for that?
Right now...
Let me rephrase. What are you overcoming?
It's a lot. I mean...
It's okay, man. Be honest.
Just the biggest thing I have to overcome, even with being... trying to be very tough and just outgoing, you're still going to have this battle inside of you like, oh man, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. In reality, I'm trying to work on like, you know what? And Bob Bowen, one of the greatest coaches of all time in swimming.
Coach Michael Phelps.
Coach Michael Phelps, coach other great Olympians, not just Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has Leon Marchand, who's going to break the fucking
He already broke Phelps' 400 IM world record, and that was the longest standing world record.
Yeah.
It was Michael Phelps' only world record that was left.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think he's going to break it again, hopefully.
He'll break 4 minutes for sure.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But yeah, I listened to his quote, and not his quote, but what he was talking about. He's like, how does depression happen? Depression happens when you look in the past. And that's very true. And I had to and I never had severe depression, but I had parts of it, I would say, because I was looking in the past like, oh man, I wish I did that. But at the end of the day, it's already gone. How does anxiety happen? It's when you look in the future that you have no control over. So for me, my focus right now is just focus on today and do the best you can. And at the end of the day, if you fail, at least you did something that no other motherfucker did. And that's what I can say is that at the end of the day, everybody can be a beast. It's are they willing to put the work in? And I have to fight every day, because there are days when I'm super lazy. I'm straight up lazy, like don't want to get up.
Yeah, you start walking normally. You don't want to.
Yeah, walking up. Yeah.
So keep going, Jan. I'm sorry about that.
So there's days where I'm super lazy. Don't want to get out of bed. I bitch to my parents. I'm like, I hate this life. I hate this. But really, like, who gets a fuck? Who gets a fuck? Like, at the end of the day, nobody nobody cares about how you feel or what you do. I mean, they do what they care about that part. But that's how champions are made. Champions are made in the process, not at the, I forgot who told me this, but somebody told me this. It's not about making the Olympics it's not about making the Paralympics. It's about you doing the work to make it. And he said, you know what? You're going to enjoy the work that you put in versus actually winning a medal. Because it's true. I think it starts you training, and that's where you get the glory for yourself, and that's when you enjoy it. Because that medal or whatever you want to get, that's just the icing on the cake. That's not.
Medals don't mean shit unless you worked your fucking ass for it. Like that's, and you get to sit and like look back and be like, look, I did this.
Yeah.
People don't like this. Doesn't happen very often. Like
No.
people can't do it, and they try. Like for any trophy, there's a few like specifically stick out in my mind. Like for me, that like they mean a lot. The trophy itself meant a lot because of what is behind it. Other people be like, oh, that's a cool trophy, and it's not. It's really about what. All the memories you waking up like, God, fuck this shit, and having to just grind it out to find a way.
You got one over there sitting next to you.
Exactly.
There's a couple on the ground.
Look at you, man.
But which one of those are you most proud of, honestly?
Not my front squat, because that was the easiest fucking dub I've ever taken. Sorry, guys. No one was beating me in that one. Honestly, I think the Norway one for me was.
That's the big silver one over there.
Well, it was so like I think kind of like obviously not I don't have cerebral palsy or anything, but
you are psychotic.
We all are.
That's
we
a
all
compliment.
are. We all
Yeah, we all
are.
like we all is the God.
But I think that one for me, like, because that was the competition that put me as an individual at the games.
Yeah.
And I've been training by myself, doing everything on my own, and like shit was hard. Yeah. Like no one's there helping me as an athlete or like I did have a training partner for a little while, and then he kind of disappeared for like 8 months, and he came back right before I went out. And like he was like, "What the fuck you been doing?" I was like, "Fucking beating the shit out of myself."
That's amazing.
And well, because when he left, like when he was there, he was better than me, and then when he left, like he came back and I was better than him. And I just remember like I went to another country, never been to. They weren't very happy, I would say, that an American came and beat the. This is not like Rocky, but they literally thought their Norwegian champion, who was super fit, was going to win.
That's crazy.
And no one had me anywhere near the top.
You clapped them cheeks.
Yeah, clapped them cheeks, dog.
Holy cow.
No, but like it was like the whole scene of that is like, okay, I'm very much like a homebody person. I like being home, and CrossFit's really made me learn to embrace change and being outside of my comfort zone. And going to another country, you don't know the language. Yeah, they speak English. It's okay. But like, right? Again, you're going somewhere across. You're going across the pond, right? You're flying over there, and you're going to do a competition that you're not favored at all. You're not nothing. Literally nothing.
Complete underdog.
Take a bunch of bus rides and trains up to the middle of Norway in the mountains at some hotel, up literally on a ski slope in a mountain.
That sounds honestly quite beautiful.
Super dope, honestly. Coolest experience of all time. But went up there and like nobody gave a fuck about me. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but it's funny. That event specifically, the first event was a 5K run up the ski slope in pouring snow, like actually up a slope. Everyone's crawling at one point.
You were Rocky.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Holy shit.
So we go up, fucking running. Everyone. Apparently, these people have already run this event before. They know, like without snow, like in the summer or the spring, like where it's they know where to go.
Yeah.
We get up to the top, and like I had a gaiter on. And I was like, I can't fucking breathe. Like,
holy cow.
The air's thin, so I took it off to and then obviously the air's fucking frozen. And you run down the back of the mountain. I'm running like, this is the coolest view ever. It's just all mountains. It's all snow. It's so super
sounds
cool,
beautiful.
right? I'm getting my ass beat. I'm in last place. The girl started behind us like by probably 5 minutes and caught me. But I didn't realize like there were places you should be running on like the trail to get back down the mountain, and I'm running in like I'm stepping in the snow and it's going up to my fucking knees. And and these other people are just like just flying. I'm like, this is bullshit.
So you went off course?
No, I just like was probably 3 feet to the left where I should have been 3 feet to the right. I don't know.
Sounds familiar.
That's crazy. Yeah,
but
like Tristan's Fittest of the Coast experience.
Yeah, it was. Well, I didn't get lost, but they were like, "Damn, sir, like you're slow as fuck." And literally, so we go into the next event, and it was 40 ring muscle ups for time in this hotel. We're literally in a hotel.
That's easy for you.
Yeah. Well, it was 5 ring muscle ups. You had to go move a little pylon, whatever, at a time. So, well, I go in, and so I didn't know this till I think like the third day, or maybe after the competition was over. I don't remember when they told me this, but like all of the like head staff, people that ran the event, were talking bad shit about me. So before that event, apparently they were like, they saw me go out there, and obviously seating wise, like I was in the final heat because I came in with like a high seating, and they like. We do the muscle up workout, and right before it, he was like, they were talking to like this dude. I bet this dude can't even do a fucking ring muscle up. Literally, word for word. That's what they told me. And then they were like, watch this shit. He's about to fucking get smoked. And I went out there and fucking toyed with people.
Yeah,
and they were like, he was like, dude, we saw you do your first like 2-3 sets, and we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's
disrespect. But yeah, anyway,
drive.
ended
That's
up the whole weekend like
to their own kind as well.
Well, yeah, right. Honestly, also Norwegian bitches pissed. Yeah, so honestly, that weekend was crazy because then like it was last place. I literally went in that first event, went into my fucking hotel room, just went like this on my fucking bed, and I was like, just sitting there and like thinking, like you're contemplating, right? You literally flew all the way over here. Your season's on the line for the sanctioned event. You have to go win it if you want to go to the games. Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't fucking come over here to fucking lose.
Yeah, that's a good mindset right there.
Like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Dig your way out of shit. And I have learned a lot of yeah, okay, it's very hard to come back and win something after taking last place at CrossFit. It is like you can do bad in an event, but taking last place, not a good time,
especially in the modern time of modern era.
Yeah, 100%. I ended up taking like the next event was like second, and then it was like third, eighth, first. Like, but also to be fair, they gave me like 3 very good workouts for me.
Yeah, it was
a bunch of heavy cleans, which were not heavy for me. Wow. A bunch of like heavy thrusters and like high skill bar muscle up stuff. Like, yeah, dude, it was a wrap. But I ended up winning that event, and I got done. And it was like, I mean, you're chasing that to go to the games. It's not quite as hard as going to the Olympics, but it's pretty fucking hard.
It's pretty hard.
Oh, it's hard.
Right?
No,
it's really hard.
No, I think I would argue it's even harder because
it takes. It's
I guess it depends because like a lot of other countries like aren't going to do well, get their opportunity.
Yeah,
to go.
Sure. Well, I mean, even before that. Yeah. I would argue it was still really hard. I would argue,
it's hard,
given the experience on the side of the swimming aspect, like, yeah, it's hard to make the Olympics, but be fast enough to swim there.
Yeah.
Right,
it's not that. It's hard, but it's not, like, overly hard.
Right. I think CrossFit's way harder because I remember Dan told me something in CrossFit. You can be really, really good and still not make it in swimming. Like, there's relays.
Yep.
So obviously in the Paralympics it's a bit different, but for regular Olympics, right? So I shouldn't say that, but okay, whatever.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Oops. Sorry.
Don't edit that out. Keep it.
National team. Sorry, guys.
They'll be fine.
Jan's about to fight them all.
This is fantastic. Man. This makes you so happy.
But like for the regular Olympics, yeah.
Yes, it's fine. Just roll with it, man. You
whatever
you want, remember?
Yeah. Free world. But so like for the Olympics, there's relays, and so on a relay by law, the United States by law have to have 6 people eligible to swim, because the way it's set up by law, they have to have. But obviously you have to be really, really fast.
I thought it was 8.
6.
Okay.
Because you have to have. Well, there's 4 people, but
thank you.
They need 2. They need 2
extras
alternates.
Yeah.
Because for example, Caleb Jessel, phenomenal guy, had the opportunity to meet him one time. He ended up having a severe depression, and I thank God he recovered really well.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
He actually had to leave the Worlds, and so they had to find a guy. Thank God they had another guy to swim his part.
The fact that he got shit on for that's really messed up.
It's messed up. And actually, I kind of lost respect for a lot of people that I used to like, and all of a sudden, you're like, why isn't he coming out to talk about this? And like, you guys don't understand. Like, being an Olympic athlete, being a CrossFit athlete, it's so much on your plate, and everything matters. And there are times when I remember I had a meeting in California, and I knew I didn't make the team. I knew I wasn't going to Santiago, and I remember just going to the locker room, and I would just tear my balls out. And I remember calling my mom saying, "It's kind of over. It's done. Like, there's no shot for me," because I knew that the only shot I had was the 50 free. Sadly, because like And it was a huge jump for me. It was a huge, like, think about it, in swimming, fucking 2 seconds is a severe gap. But I'm like, okay, if I just go at 35, there's a shot at me putting me on the roster, potentially swimming. But if I don't go at 35, there's no way they're not going to select me. And for me, I kind of wanted to go to Santiago because I wanted to show the world, like, this is what American sprinting is. Because the truth is, right now on the Paris side, there's not really a true sprinter on my category, S7. So, but I was like, you know what? It happens. But I think it's just a miracle in many aspects. I mean, I've learned a lot from racing. But the biggest problem I have is I'm easily broken down because if it doesn't go my way, I tend to be like, holy cow, it's over. And that's what really set me back a little bit. In September, I came back home. I didn't want to talk to my parents about it. It's probably not the best experience. It's probably one of the worst experiences I had personally. I learned a lot from it. I learned that, hey, you got to really train. You can't goof around. You you have to train all 6 months straight, hardcore. And obviously, and Dan mentioned it. There's a lot of things that I didn't have. I didn't really. I had the coaching, but it wasn't quite there. Obviously, the head coach.
No,
Yeah,
that's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously he had things going on, so he wasn't there, which is fine.
No.
But a lot of things, so that. But at the end of the day, it's as Griffin said, man, it's very stressful, and I think that's if I can master that, if I can master holding myself together and just fighting through a lot of shit, because if you look at all the Olympic athletes, all the CrossFit athletes, all the athletes who make it in their sport, they have to go through so much hell to make it. For example, Michael Phelps, people don't know what the things he had to go through to go to that. I mean, 8 gold medals sounds great, but after that,
he was fucked up.
He was so fucked up that actually at one point, I could be wrong. I'm actually right about this. He was close to killing himself.
He had attempted multiple times.
Multiple times. Actually, one by actual typical kill, but also he almost wanted to kill himself. But obviously,
there's a great documentary out there called "The Weight of Gold." It was on. I don't know if it's still on HBO Max, but he's like one of the main spokespersons on it, and it was really hard to watch. It's really hard to watch. Yeah. It's very sad. I encourage whoever's listening to this to
definitely watch it.
Well, one thing that I would say that really helps, like the mentality, especially, like I know, like you said, like looking in the past is like depression, but I would also give another perspective to that as well, and that is, it may be that for those that remember things poorly, those that, and it's just another perspective, right? When you have success. And you can find success in anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yep.
It's derived from that hard fucking work you put in day out, right? Just as we were talking about. So if you can look back and like, I use that reference from Norway for myself a lot of times. Because if I could do something like that by myself, overcome being fucking last place and decide, fuck this, like, I'm going to do it. Why, like, when you do something next, like, at some point in your life, it could be through 1 year, 6 months, 5 years, whatever, and all of a sudden, man, you're down again. You're in last. Yeah. Whatever that is. In real life, in competition, doesn't matter. You're in last place. Well, you've already done it before. Yeah. Fuck that. I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to be down. Yeah. And you can use those memories and those thoughts of being like, I've done it. Like, why the fuck can't I do it again? Right? And it helps for me. Like, this is a personal thing for me. Is that in that one example? I've got others. It builds upon each other, and you build this whole book over your lifetime. And they don't have to be that big. It could be smaller things. That over time you're like, man, I've done it. I've done it this time. I've done it this time. I've done it this time. I can keep fucking doing this.
Yeah. Just got to keep choosing violence. As you said.
Sure. Yeah. You just have, right. Like, my violence is not necessarily towards anyone else. It's really just
it's a metaphor.
Like, I'm not going to be a fucking bitch. And again, people can take that however the fuck they want. I don't care.
It works for
Mine
me.
is like, it works for me. I'm not going to be soft. Too, like, I'm not going to be soft. Like, I'm going to decide that I'm tough enough to work my ass off and get out of this. I don't care. I don't care. No one here is going to save you. Nobody on this planet right now, other than Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, is going to save your life.
Yep.
So, like, at the end of the day, like, no, people are there for you, but they can't walk it for you.
Yeah.
They can walk beside you, but they can't do it for you.
100%.
And once you've chosen that hard work, and it may not be the big successes, it may not be I won the competition. Your success is you got the opportunity for the Paralympic trials, right?
Yeah.
They sent you a letter. People don't fucking get those.
Yeah.
And for you should be like, damn, I've done that. I can be there. Yeah. I can take that and improve. And it doesn't have to be only on swimming. It can be anything in life. And for you, like, as a child, like, you started with fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And you found those successes. You found a way to find successes.
Yeah.
And one of the big ones is...
with the great help I had, obviously.
Right. And that's a success. Yeah. You, like, sometimes success is luck.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
It is, I would say.
It happens. Success is luck, too.
If I didn't have the grandparents, if I didn't have the parents, if I didn't have the, obviously, Coach Dan and the other coaches around me, like, I don't think I would be at the point I'm now. And it's just a miracle in many ways. And I have to thank God for this, because He gave me a different life than most people. Because there's people out there, there are kids in my orphanage that couldn't come over to the U.S. because the Russian government shut down the adoption agency because due to Barack Obama and him, whatever, it's all political. I'm not trying to get into it. But the United States and the United States and Russia never got along, really. And they probably won't for a long time, truly, to be honest. Because, obviously, I don't know why, but whatever.
It's all right. Keep going.
But yeah, so there's people that didn't get an opportunity, and guess what? And it's sad. And I have this opportunity, so let me do the best I can, so that I didn't waste this opportunity. It's not about being the greatest of all time. It's achieving your opportunity and doing the best you can. And I want to be the greatest Paralympic swimmer of all time. I know it most likely would never happen. But swimming has given me this life. It's given me open doors that I may not see now, but I'll see later on. And
so why swimming? Why has swimming helped you frame that mindset? You can say like influences by like myself and others. However, it's your decision.
Yeah,
because you tried other sports, kind of like
I did. I
tried that
wheelchair basketball, didn't work out.
Yeah.
Tried wheelchair racing one day. I did one day wheelchair racing. The next day, I'm like, I can't do this because my back was so effed up. I'm like, I think it's better to me to stick something else.
Pussy.
Like, yeah, I know. Well, it was pretty bad. And somebody told me, like, man, wheelchair racing, it sounds really good, but most people with my disability don't do wheelchair racing because we can feel our backs really well. Our legs, we may not feel our legs that well, but we can feel everything else really good, even better than others, you know? Just kidding.
Everything in the front, too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Below the waist just fine, huh?
Yeah.
That's right, cool. Right on, man. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
So is Jan single?
I am single.
Honestly,
I am single.
Take your shirt off. Show the ladies what you got.
Should I do that?
Yeah, why not, Jan?
Yeah, so,
might be a good reel.
Why are you making...
out there?
Flex it, dog.
That don't want to work their ass off.
Just stand
you
up.
Should be embarrassed.
Or do the best you can to stand up.
Because this is hard work right here. Right? So all these people in the world.
It's fine. You can say Americans. There's
Americans,
a lot of...
Sorry.
It's fine.
So,
it's fine.
Listen, Americans.
I love it.
And
He's coming from the Russian now.
The Americans and the world. Listen. I don't want to, like, all you guys have to do is, I can't work out. Yeah, you can. You just have to do push-ups. Look at Jacko. You know what Jacko does when he's in the hotel, when he's traveling? He does burpees. He has no gym around him, but he does burpees, and I think that's what makes...
I honestly feel like anybody that watches this podcast is like, I can't complain about a burpee again.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I still have the
You're
film.
lucky to do burpees, bitch.
Honestly, I think I have the film of you doing burpees.
Oh, really?
On deck. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was funny for me to watch, so I'm pretty sure I kept the video.
I mean, I think it's possible. Going into that similar story, And Dan knows it really well, and he was like, "Holy cow, why are you doing this?" So obviously, with my disability, it's very common to have some thermal issues. When the water's freezing cold, my legs freeze up, and they are in big pain. There's one day the pool was probably in 60s degrees.
No, I wasn't in the 60s yet. The pool had been shut down if it was that cold. It was cold. It was
Yeah,
like
it was
72,
cold.
73.
And we said practice because, you know, we have an Asian coach.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
It's a joke.
I mean, it's not a joke, but that's we don't need to go into details.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that.
So, you know,
The Russian has struck.
To be fair, like, well, you were from the European side of Russia,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
We're still Russian.
so
Yeah, I know, but I was gonna try to give him the pass that we had an Asian coach, so he could say stuff about like Asians.
and he's-
However,
yeah, he's cool. Yeah.
What's wrong with saying someone's ethnicity?
I just want to avoid like any potential stuff coming back on him if he says anything relatively negative towards it.
No,
I'm looking out for my homie.
I don't understand.
I'll explain later. Go ahead, Jan.
Dan, you're
So I
Caucasian.
mean, like, so we had practice, and I was like, you know what? Like, my parents are paying for this. Like, they're straight up paying for this, and why am I gonna waste their money?
Dude, you could barely move with how cold you were.
Yeah, exactly.
And you kept trying to swim,
I tried
but
to
your
swim.
lips turned purple.
Yeah, it was bad.
And we had to kick you out.
2 people had to pick me up because I couldn't literally get out of the water.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, my parents are paying for this, and I want to become faster this year, and like, I don't want to waste their money. I don't want to waste my time either. So I'm like, oh, there's 10 pounds plates here. Let me just do straight up for an hour.
No. It wasn't an hour. It was 90 minutes.
Oh, it's 90 minutes. Sorry. So 90 minutes, like, let me just go straight because, you know, it's a good workout. So I did it. I wasn't sure, like, I can do maybe 30 minutes. But then I'm like, oh, shit, I'm going to push it. And thank God I had no injuries afterwards. You know, that's surprising me.
You never said what exercises you did.
So I was literally, I don't know what this is called.
He sat on the bench by the pool and did 90 minutes of bicep curls, alternating bicep curls, and never stopped.
Nice.
Talking the whole time with us. It was just 10-pound plates, burning his biceps up.
Hell
He was doing full on
Ron Burgundy shit.
It was honestly. I don't know if you heard, but he did over 1,000. He probably did no shit. Jan probably did over 2,000 curls.
Yeah.
1,000 each arm, like no joke. And this is before the assault bike. So like I donated an assault bike to the team.
A curl for every step he took to break out of Russia.
That's right. One for the core. There's another day, Jan, where and I think this is more impressive. So when the monitor worked on the assault bike, he evolved from doing bicep curls for an hour and a half.
Pokemon?
Hey,
We're not there yet.
I was waiting for him to throw it to me. Anyway, he did for an hour Tabata assault bike sprints.
Yeah.
With his arms only,
And it
because
was
he can't pedal.
doing
like,
for trials, actually. It was after COVID.
Yeah.
It was after
It
COVID.
was that to me. The fact that you did that for an hour, I'll never forget that because that anyone who's done Tabata anything on an assault bike, echo bike, airtime, whatever, is in my opinion the single most painful thing you will ever do on land. But I've also not done everything on land.
Yeah.
Just from the microcontraction standpoint and the bunch of air getting thrown into your lungs, get that nice little Fran lung on the assault bike.
I mean, the air quality wasn't the best either.
But like, that's the mindset that is so fucking awesome that you recognize like when you can't swim, it's too damn cold.
Yeah.
You make the decision to go ahead and
Yeah.
you're going to do something. But I'm going to circle it back, Jan. Why is swimming beneficial for your mindset development in that sense? How has swimming helped you overcome that adversity?
Because I mean, I think for me, right away, swimming was very hard. I was never talented, but I knew if I keep pushing and I keep going through that pain, it's gonna serve me a long time. And it just gave me peace, to be honest with you. That's why I loved it. It gave me peace, and it gave me this. I can do this, and I'm gonna push it. Because in my mindset, I was the world champion. I really believe, like, even to this day, even though I'm struggling with the sport still, to this day, I have this mindset. I'm this world champion. But I think it's just pushing through that. I want to say pain. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. How did that? So most swimmers,
Physical and mental.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's mostly mental, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have no sound, just the whooshing of water, and you're looking at a black line for 2 hours.
For 2,
there's nothing else going on.
Sometimes even like, what made me really strong person was I still do this, but used to do a lot more often. My coach, and then also, since I couldn't use my legs properly, we created a system where I would use a bucket and pull. And I remember doing it.
A 5-gallon bucket.
5-gallon, yeah, pretty much. I'm just pulling the water with, I'm pulling the bucket behind me with paddles on, with a snorkel on, or sometimes not, depends on the day.
To give a point of reference for everybody, swimming with that bucket on that he was using, it was probably very equivalent to trying to do what's like a weight you could do, Griffin, for weighted pull-ups. That's like you could easily pump out like 20 unbroken. For strict weighted pull-ups.
I don't fucking know with weight.
Yeah, probably 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah,
pounds.
So
like it'd be near like that, but for 2 hours nonstop.
Yeah, basically.
So picture doing a single arm lat pull down or a single arm pull up.
Is it the same bucket that I used?
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah, we should race with buckets on. I'll get my ass super kicked.
Yeah, so I mean,
keep going with that.
I did that a lot.
To paint that picture
for sure. I mean, and that's what I was doing really for my swimming. That's like if people ask me, "What do you do for swimming?" That's basically I do a lot of pulling, and with this,
you have developed some kick.
I have, but not
very good.
Not really good. Actually, it's better me without the kick, but I still kick because I need to move my legs.
If you got your legs cut off, you'd be a lot faster.
Yeah,
that's actually true.
It's very
true.
It's
very true. It's what? Yes.
Very true.
We tried to convince him to do that for 4 years.
The problem is if I do it, there's gonna be a lot of
yeah. Go on.
But I'm not gonna do it. But I mean, it's just that And I remember just that right there, just doing that simple. It's not a simple task, but just doing that task.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's all about consistency. So I think that's what made me. I think it's swimming just opened so many doors, and I want to deny it, but at the same time I can't. Like for me, like it's gonna sound terrible, but like people say, "Oh, you work so hard at the gym." I'm like, no, I don't really work hard, but in there I am because.
So I want to stop you there for a second. No, don't say sorry, because I wanted to second it. The question with this. Why did swimming on days you couldn't swim? Why did that help you push through shit on land? And do you feel like pushing through the shit in the water positively affected your ability to push through the shit on land?
Yeah, 100%. Because if I can do it in the water, I can do it on land.
So, and I asked you that because you said you weren't working that hard. The perception was to everyone else you were, but to you weren't. I'm going to say, and just as for everyone to know, your standards for yourself are not achievable. Just like most insane people, Griffin.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think being insane in many ways. Not at all. Not at all. Let me be specific. Not at all, but in many ways, it's if you look. I mean, if you want to be that good, you kind of have to be insane.
Oh, absolutely, no disagreement. So, like,
it's the good word is obsessive. You become obsessive.
You have to. And I'm still building that,
Yeah, you become obsessive. Me and football were truly obsessive.
Yeah.
Like truly obsessive. CrossFit's not as much.
Really?
It doesn't give me that. It's something to compete in.
Okay.
Yeah. The grid's about to be.
But no offense, but
it's fine.
Everybody got claps. No, it's just I don't know. Football was something different. Like that was like my swimming. Like that everything and anything. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't care about anything else. CrossFit itself is good and has benefited me in a lot of ways. But at like the elite competitive level, I don't have the same love for it. And I definitely like I know that it shows. But it's. I don't know. I wish I could have had that same feeling, but you can't force that. But that's why, like, when if you have something like that, you really want to.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. Nah, I can't say it's okay to be obsessive, but like, if you want to be great,
well, I'm trying to build that,
Yeah, right. And if you want to be great, you unfortunately. You have to be around those lines.
It can be
sacrifice
okay.
too.
As long as
sacrifice. It's a lot. You get one life. You get one chance at this thing. So like, if that's what you want to do,
seize everything you ever wanted.
Eminem was right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you do. Like, you have to do that. If you don't, you won't feel fulfilled. And
for me, it's actually also it's like I can think in many ways it's proven that haters wrong. In elementary school, I don't think I told you the story, but I want to tell you right now. It's kind of crazy. Somebody, one of the teachers thought I had a mental disability.
Well, most people do with people who have cerebral palsy.
Yeah, but
unfortunately,
she thought that I had to be in a special class, like MID shit, like
Yeah.
severe, like, because obviously I was struggling in school. Like I was
You
struggling.
didn't know you
Yeah,
couldn't speak
couldn't speak,
English.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was in 5th grade, and I also I didn't really get a fuck about school.
Well,
That also
still applies to you this
yeah.
day.
Yeah, in high school I took it more serious, but I still don't give a fuck. Like I'm like I could have had a higher GPA like if I worked a little bit harder, but I'm like nah. Like,
Kids stay in school.
yeah, kids stay in school, finish high school. Don't have to go to college if you don't want to, but finish high school because if you don't have a high school degree, then
Life's a hell of a lot harder.
life is a lot harder. Even if you don't have a college degree, it can be a lot harder too. Not always.
I do want to circle back for a quick second. You feel like swimming has helped you push when you can't swim. It's helped you push through shit on land. So like when you were training with Diane and Joby, when they were riding your Metcons and whatnot.
Oh, she's a phenomenal coach, man. She pushed me more than I pushed myself. She killed my ass like crazy. The second day, we were doing some crazy shit, and I'm like, holy fuck, how you do this? And she was brutal, and that's what she's so phenomenal. And I told her, I'm like, wow, she's probably the best personal trainer you can find on the planet.
For people like you, I would say, especially.
To be honest, she would be fired from gyms because gyms are very political and very like you have to be soft, and she's not like that, which I love, and that's why I love Diane as a coach, and you Dan too, because you guys don't, and my coach too, right? I have him now.
That's
like
just because you haven't had him yet.
Yeah. Oh, well, and even if I had Griffin too, probably. Like you guys don't get a fuck. Like you guys don't get a fuck. Like doesn't matter. You're gonna push it through, and she pushed me through, and I think swimming has.
I would argue that we do give a fuck.
But yeah, in a different way. Right, in a different way.
We don't give a fuck about your excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
and I have a bunch of those.
Well, a lot of that is also like you can respect and listen to coaches that have been through the same shit.
Correct.
And it doesn't have to be through swimming. It could be through anything. Right?
It could be through life.
But I unfortunately, and this isn't like the best way of thinking, but it is just how I work. The only way I can truly be coachable, and I'm a pretty coachable person, but
Yes.
I have to know that you walked the walk of some kind, and you had to struggle, and you had to fight, and you had to find a fucking way, and you were different than others. Like, if you're not you don't have some story like that you had to be like that in your life, I can't connect well enough to me. Like, I'll listen to you, but I won't absorb what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, Tristan. Just kidding. Love you.
And so I think that really helps. You know, like having like certain coaches and people around you is going to help you really push through that as well. And you don't necessarily have to be like, oh, these people are doing it with me, but you can at least not want to say accountable, but you don't have to be like, I'm doing this alone or I'm always lonely. Like, at least you do have those people that you're like, they've done stuff like
you don't
this
always feel that, but 100%.
they're at least there. But yeah, I think that's a super important piece. And again, I think for you, maybe that was one of the reasons, like your parents really helped you with that.
100%.
So
my grandparents, my parents, my family. I mean, as I said, I don't know how to thank them enough because they've done so much, and I've been a bitch to them too. To be honest with you,
Yes, you have.
I have been a bitch to them. Like, truly, I don't know why they're still like, with all this shit I took them through myself, of my personal life, of my mental shit.
Well, probably because they could never understand the shit you've had to go through in life, so they're there to support you. Yeah. And Alex and Sarah are wonderful people.
Oh yeah.
So
my
the fact that
as well too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that. Yes, you bitch to them a lot, and they're not going to, but they would never, Alex and Sarah, your mom and dad would never give up on you.
Hell yeah. Ever. Of course not, yeah. And, like, to be honest,
he makes fun of you too.
Yeah. They do, which is amazing too, because they don't, like, from the beginning, they didn't get, like, you have this ability, we're going to push you. Like, I remember, like, it was so bad, my dad made me do wall sits. And he's like, no, you're going to do it. You're going to count to 100. You're going to do it.
That would have been fantastic to watch.
And I was like probably 12 years old. And my parents were like, you're going to do the wall sit. And I was crying, complaining. They're like, they made me, and I think they made me very strong too.
It's good shit.
Yeah. And obviously because my dad,
People can't fathom that at this day and time anymore.
No,
his legs don't work well. Don't make him fucking do that.
and that's crazy because like my parents never treated me different. Like I would open my door for my mom in public, and people would look at her disgusting, like what the fuck, you're gonna have to disable people. And no, like I can open the fucking door for my mom, like. Like why?
You opening the door for your mom, and then you're just like, I got you, mom. Whoa! You fall down. Just make a huge scene to make it feel like shit.
Yeah, I should have done that. Like,
could you imagine what they could have done with this man on Jackass?
Oh, dude, we could start. Let's revamp it.
I'm out.
But it's like crazy. It's like, but it starts with my parents. It starts with at the home shit, right?
Of course,
right. I should say, but it starts at home.
Home shit.
And then, I should have said that. My bad.
Dude, you're fine.
But it just, swimming transformed me on land because, and I also love to sweat. Like, I don't know about you guys. I love to sweat.
I sweat all the time. I'm covered in body hair. I don't have a choice.
It's different.
I'm definitely built different. I'm definitely built some way.
Built different, egg in the bite.
Yep.
That bullshit.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a six-pack too. You just can't see it.
Well, if people ever decide to start coming to learn from this jackass to coach for swimming,
Oh yeah.
maybe they'll get lucky enough to swim with this man and get embarrassed.
Honestly, yeah, and learn from him for sure. Because Jan, honestly, Jan, you have one of the best pull patterns underwater. Really? Yeah, every single person, swimming or not, could learn from your underwater mechanics with your freestyle strokes. Not your butterfly.
Kind of the first person to say that.
Well,
Not your butterfly.
Well, I mean, you ever seen a flailing child in the deep end?
Just that strong that he just launched himself with his arm.
He does.
I know, but like legitimately faster than other people do.
Oh, I mean, I could.
That's
shoot
true.
Video. Actually, you know,
It's faster.
You know, I've been in Austin, right? I've been in
Yeah.
Austin. So,
Isn't he the one who said the thing about the medal too?
he's a gold medalist at Tokyo.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's the one who told you the thing about the medal. But yeah, what about Evan?
He's a phenomenal guy. I got the opportunity to watch him swim. I mean, that guy's phenomenal though, and he's like basically what you just said. He does that.
Oh yeah.
But he's I met him in person.
Dude is huge. Fucking huge. Like Jan's jacked. This dude makes Jan look fat.
Yeah.
This dude's like Marius Pujanowski
he's
size.
I have a picture of him. I can show you after the podcast, whatever.
That's cute. You kiss your phone at night then? It's fine. No judgment. We're swimmers, man. You don't know what we're into.
Look, swimming's gay. Let's shoot.
Oh my god.
Swimming's gay.
Stop it. Oh my god.
It's true. It's true. I cannot deny that. I can't deny that. I've seen so many like
That's the marketing for this one.
Man, I can't. So the thing that hopefully parents, if you're listening, don't show it to your kids. But man, so many things I've seen in like the locker rooms and just.
Okay, please don't go into detail. Please don't.
It's just crazy.
I know what you're
Welcome
saying.
to
Please
football.
don't.
Welcome to football locker rooms, bro.
I don't know if I've been in football locker rooms too. I don't do.
The thing, I don't know, man.
There's no reason.
Welcome to sports locker
But
rooms.
think about it, it's like men wear speedos. To me, like
No, Speedo is a brand. They wear briefs.
they wear briefs, right? Briefs, and like.
I don't know if that's the right term though, because like briefs are also like can have like part of the leg going.
Yeah, but the briefs that swimmers wear are tight.
Well, yeah, you don't want them loose.
Yeah, then things flop out.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, I mean.
But then again, you have people like yourself that wear a jammer and then things fall out anyway.
Yeah, for the fact I've in the past wore 2 suits. Hey, because I'm this kind of guy. I don't waste shit, and I just wear broken shit. But also, it's good because it creates more drag. Because all you need is drag to get faster in the water. All you need is drag. Put on a parachute, do anything.
Resistance.
That's not true.
Oh,
Not all that is true. Let the scientists handle that part, okay?
all right. Well,
To get stronger in the water. You
Yes,
need
to get stronger.
to get stronger.
There you
yeah,
go.
100%.
Which he just cut the corner and said to get faster. You know, it's similar.
Very similar, but yeah, I mean, but going back to your statement with the butterfly, I mean, he does that.
Mm. You basically do it. You just look more like a little kid.
Well,
that
I just don't.
swim in the
To be
deep
truly honest with you, I don't train butterfly really. As you know,
because you a bitch.
yeah, I'm a bitch.
Oh my god.
I only train freestyle and backstroke really, and some breaststroke because whatever.
Yeah, breaststroke.
Yeah,
Jesus.
bruh.
Well, Jan, what's your Instagram so the squad, everyone
So-
paying attention, can check it
Is
out?
it Tiger CP Speed?
I think so.
Yeah, Tiger_CP_speed.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And we'll have that in the.
Yeah.
Tristan, can we put that in the link?
It's
in the description. Sorry.
And the reason why I chose that username because I believe in the Tiger mentality, lion mentality. CP because I have CP, and then speed because I'm creating speed.
You should have said CP for something crazy.
Yeah,
Should have just made it something entirely different.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Cock pounder.
uh,
He did say somebody's gay. So.
God. All
I
right.
mean, it can be,
Oh my
Anyway.
lord. We should probably
Yeah.
wrap this up. Huh?
Yeah. So if you want to check out Jan, obviously go follow him on Instagram.
Jan Babayeuski.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely do some more posting. I haven't really done any posting, but potentially we'll start doing more posting because a lot of people ask me, "What do you do in the water? What do you do as swimming?" Because to me, I'm like, I just pool, but people don't understand that. So if I can show that, I'll definitely do that. And just I want people to know like I have a disability, but it's just a disability. It's nothing crazy, and I want to say that if people feel bad about that, fuck you, basically. Fuck you. Like, don't feel bad. Really, don't feel bad. Like, I actually, disability
Have a heyday with this one, Tristan.
made me who I am. If I wasn't disabled, I won't say I'm the same person. I think, and
Well, you mastered how to fake your disability.
exactly.
That helps.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Jan's out, dog.
Yeah.